Hey WILDR folks, this mobility session has been put together to assist with reducing bunion pain. There's tons of possible causes for bunions, and this is going to be specifically addressing tightness in the ankle and strengthening in the front of the shin. So we'll get started on that. This would also be super helpful after any kind of restrictive ankle situation that you've been in. So think hiking boots or ski boots, that sort of thing. You're gonna need a ball, a band, if you're doing the more advanced level of our strengthening, and yourself. So let's get started. We are going to begin by doing a quick release of your peroneal muscles. So we're gonna sit close to 90-90. If you need to, you can block up the hip here by sitting on something, but all we wanna do is just get access so that we can put our tennis ball or our release ball on the outside of the shin. You wanna go not on the bone, but just past it, and you're gonna find a muscle there. We are just going to spend 30 seconds here releasing this muscle. So I'll get you to start right at the middle of your shin, and we are just gonna point and extend the foot. We should feel a muscle that's helping that happen on the outside of the leg here. And you'll go back and forth a couple times, move to a different spot, and repeat. Good, now we're gonna run down the length of that muscle. And we're gonna go ahead and stretch the lateral ankle on this side. So first, depending on who you are, you may or may not get a stretch here, but we're gonna hold the ankle, and then we are going to move the foot around until we find a spot where we get a stretch through here. Good, don't go to pain, just look for a little bit of a stretch, and we are gonna hold that. Take a couple deep breaths. It's going to be a very gentle stretch here. This wouldn't be as deep of a stretch as you feel in your hamstrings. We're just getting a little bit of tension there. And we're gonna repeat this on our second side. So outside of the shin bone, we can pop that other foot back behind us. And we are gonna look for spots that are a little bit tender. Spend a couple seconds there breathing, and then go into extension and flexion at the ankle. Actually, technically, it would be plantar flexion and dorsiflexion, but either way, looking for points of restriction here. Just gonna spend 30 seconds, and then we are going to get that ankle stretch happening. Gentle stretch. You might find it in a slightly different place. I've got a little bit of I've got my toes pointed a touch to find the stretch for me. But it's super worthwhile to explore and see what and how you can find a stretch as opposed to just hanging out in one place. Exploration is always a good thing. All right, we're gonna move on to part 3, and that is going to be some tibialis anterior strengthening. So step 1 is going to be just lifting your toes towards your knees. You'll find a little bit of stretch across the calf, but I want you to start feeling muscle in here, working nice and hard to lift those toes. Now we're gonna be doing 20 of these. So if this is too easy for you while you're doing your shifts, or your pulls, I'm going to set up a band to show you how to make these harder. We'll simply put a band around an object that doesn't move down low, pop those toes in, and then pull up. The lower this is anchored, the better. Trying to get as full of a range of motion as you can, so we point the toes to start. And we're gonna finish up with some foot shortening, which is really fun, but takes a little bit of an explanation. So what you wanna do is place your foot flat on the ground. You're gonna relax it to start off, and this arch should be kind of moderate. And then what you're gonna do is try and get this point on your toe closer to your heel, and then relax. Shorten, and then relax. Now at first, you're probably gonna wanna crunch your toes, and I am going to urge you to try and keep the toes flat to get these muscles working. We're gonna do 20 of these. Let's say we've already done 4, and let's do both sides at once. Now, if you're new to this, you might get a little bit of a cramp in there. If that happens, relax and shake it out for a couple seconds. Try a couple more. Go to the edge of that cramp, but certainly not through it. And we're gonna build up over time to be able to do 20 of these. Good. I'm gonna go split stance just so you can see that flattening happen for me. It is not a very big move, and the other thing I'll get you to notice is that your knees shouldn't be moving apart to make the shortening happen. Try and have mainly the foot involved in this action. Good, and we're just gonna finish off with a stretch of our big toe. So depending on how flexible you are, we'll get you to plant the toes and just lean back onto the heels. You'll also get a stretch through the bottom of the foot. And then I love to rotate those ankles to the outside and inside to just feel the stretch all over. Now, if this is painful, of course, you can stay here to begin with and just focus on feeling that stretch. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wilder day, and we'll talk to you soon.